When people think about health, they often focus on the visible surface, smooth skin, strong hair, flexible joints. But beneath all of that lies something far more fundamental, something quietly holding the entire structure together. That substance is collagen. In a very real sense, collagen is the biological framework of the body. It's the most abundant protein we have, acting almost like the scaffolding that keeps everything stable, connected, and resilient. Think about it this way: every building requires a strong internal structure. Without it, the exterior may look impressive for a while, but eventually cracks begin to appear. The human body works in much the same way. Collagen forms the connective tissue in your skin, your bones, your tendons, your ligaments. It provides elasticity to the skin, strength to the joints, and integrity to the tissues that allow your body to move and function properly. It is, quite literally, the glue that holds much of you together. But here's the crucial point that most people overlook. As we age, our body naturally begins to produce less collagen. This decline doesn't happen dramatically overnight. It happens slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. Yet its effects accumulate. Skin begins to lose firmness. Joints may feel stiffer. Recovery becomes slower. And many people interpret these changes as an unavoidable decline, something that simply comes with getting older. However, the reality is more nuanced than that. The body is constantly rebuilding itself. Proteins are broken down and reconstructed every day. Cells renew themselves. Tissue repairs itself. And the materials used for that reconstruction come directly from what we consume. In other words, the quality of the building materials determines the strength of the structure. That's where nutrition becomes something deeper than just calories or dieting. It becomes an intentional act of maintenance. When you provide your body with the nutrients that support collagen, you are essentially supplying the raw materials your system needs to maintain strength, flexibility, and resilience. This is why understanding collagen matters. Because once you recognize that your body is a living structure constantly rebuilding itself, the question becomes very simple: what materials are you giving it to work with? And the answer to that question will quietly shape how strong, or fragile, your foundation becomes over time. Once you understand that collagen is the structural framework of the body, the next logical question becomes obvious: where do we get the materials to support it? Because the body doesn't create strength out of thin air. It builds using what we consistently provide. And fortunately, nature has already offered a set of remarkably effective foods that either contain collagen directly or supply the nutrients your body needs to produce it. Consider bone broth, for example. For centuries, long before nutrition science existed, traditional cultures simmered bones for hours to extract their nutrients. What they were unknowingly accessing was collagen, along with amino acids like glycine and proline, essential building blocks that help repair connective tissues, support joints, and maintain the elasticity of skin. Sometimes wisdom shows up in tradition long before it appears in textbooks. Then there's fish, particularly fish with the skin still attached. Marine collagen is known for being highly absorbable, meaning the body can use it efficiently. It contributes to skin elasticity and tissue repair, and it reminds us of something important: the closer food remains to its natural form, the more supportive it tends to be for the body's systems. Chicken is another powerful source. If you think about it, many parts of chicken, especially the skin and connective tissue, are naturally rich in collagen. When consumed regularly, they provide the same amino acids your body uses to maintain its own connective structures. Eggs play a slightly different role. While eggs themselves don't contain collagen in large amounts, the membranes inside the eggshells are rich in compounds that stimulate collagen production. They provide essential amino acids that help the body assemble collagen fibers from within. But collagen production doesn't rely only on protein. It also requires key micronutrients, particularly vitamin C. This is where citrus fruits enter the picture. Oranges, lemons, and grapefruits help activate the body's collagen synthesis process. Without sufficient vitamin C, the body simply can't construct collagen efficiently. And finally, leafy greens. Spinach, kale, and similar vegetables contain chlorophyll and antioxidants that help protect existing collagen from damage while supporting new production. They act almost like guardians of the structure you're trying to maintain. What's remarkable about all of this is how simple it really is. These foods aren't exotic or complicated. They're foundational, and when included consistently in your diet, they provide the raw materials your body needs to rebuild itself properly. Because the truth is this: the body is always constructing something. The only real question is whether you're giving it the materials to build strength, or leaving it to work with less than it needs. Now, once you understand what collagen is and where the body can obtain the nutrients to support it, the final issue becomes something far more practical, and, in many ways, far more psychological. It's the issue of consistency. Because knowledge, by itself, changes very little. Transformation happens when knowledge becomes behavior, and behavior becomes habit. People often approach health with a kind of short-term mindset. They look for dramatic changes, quick fixes, or temporary diets that promise rapid results. But the body doesn't operate according to those timelines. Biological systems are slow, deliberate, and cumulative. They respond not to what you do once in a while, but to what you do repeatedly over long periods of time. Collagen production works exactly the same way. You cannot nourish your body properly for a single week and expect lasting structural benefits. Skin, joints, connective tissues, these are systems that renew gradually. They depend on a steady supply of the right nutrients. And that means small decisions made every day begin to matter far more than occasional bursts of discipline. Think about the difference between intensity and consistency. Intensity feels powerful in the moment. It gives you the sensation that you're making a dramatic change. But consistency is quieter. It's less glamorous. It looks like choosing nourishing foods regularly, adding bone broth to a meal, including fish in your weekly routine, eating citrus fruits and leafy greens without making it a major event. And yet, over time, consistency reshapes the body in ways intensity rarely can. This principle applies far beyond nutrition. It reflects a deeper truth about human behavior. The trajectory of your life, your health, your resilience, even your physical appearance, is largely the product of small repeated actions. Tiny decisions accumulate, habits compound, and the structure of your body gradually reflects the structure of your daily choices. So the real question isn't whether collagen-rich foods work. The evidence for their supportive role is clear. The real question is whether you're willing to integrate these foods into the rhythm of your everyday life. Because when nutrition becomes a routine rather than a reaction, the body begins to respond with quiet but profound improvements. And perhaps that's the most important idea to leave you with. Your body is constantly rebuilding itself. Every single day, the only thing it asks in return is that you consistently give it the materials it needs to build something strong.